What's going on, everyone? Jack here from Half Chrome, and this is the new DJI Flip, and it's a pretty fantastic drone. There's a lot to really like about it, but that's not what this video is about. Today, I want to talk about 10 things that I think should be improved on this drone. I think DJI can do some of that with software, but some of it's going to have to wait until we get a new release of this drone, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a Pro model. Now, I don't hate this drone. Actually, I think it's really awesome, and I think it's a great drone for a lot of people. It has a great flight time of over 30 minutes. It's less than 250 grams. You don't have to register with the FAA, and it has a fantastic camera. That 4K video coming out of this thing is pretty darn fantastic, but it does have some drawbacks. So if you're thinking about buying this one, you need to know about them first. And I'm going to start with some small things and kind of end with what I think is the biggest setback on this drone, so you can help make a decision whether or not you think this is best for you. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, I'm Jack, we're Half Chrome, and we do a lot of drone and tech reviews, but we don't sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna tell you everything that's fantastic about this drone. DJI didn't send it to me. I bought this thing with my own money. My goal is to give you some objective things you can think about so you can decide what is the best drone for you, and I think this is pretty well suited for beginners. So if that's you, keep watching. I've also done some comparisons with the Neo, the Mini 4K, and the Mini 4 Pro, so you're going to want to check that out as well. Subscribe so you don't miss it. All right, let's get into it. Okay, my first gripe is actually a pro for some people, and this drone, the Flip, does not have remote ID. Well, remote ID is a law that was passed that drones that are over 250 grams need to have it. And you're thinking, well, this is under, it doesn't need it. Correct, it doesn't. But if you're a professional pilot and you want to fly over people, you need a drone that has propeller guards like this and remote ID plus being less than 250 grams. And it's just one component shy of meeting that requirement. We would call it a Category 1 drone. This could be a Category 1 drone with a little software update. Or if it was light enough, right, it is just under 250 grams, so I can't actually add a module. I tried, it puts it overweight. So that was disappointing, but maybe not for everybody. My next gripe is actually the design. These rear motors sit so close to the ground on takeoff, right? I've had it multiple times where I set it down and it wouldn't take off because something stuck up and hit one of the propellers, be it grass or a rock or whatever, and you don't want that. So you either have to hand launch it or find a really flat surface or get yourself a landing pad. I almost always keep a landing pad with me. It's great because even when the surface is flat, there might be some sand or rocks or dirt that when the propellers start going, they're going to kick that up, and you don't want that to kind of get into any of the internals or get on the camera lens. So yeah, just a couple little feet back here would have solved that issue. I know we're trying to really keep it under that 249 gram weight limit. DJI needs to figure that out. They'll fix it for the Pro version. All right, these are my DJI goggles, and they're awesome. I love flying FPV, and it would have been fantastic to be able to connect the drone, to be able to fly with these goggles. I can do that with this guy, the $200 Neo. Why can't I do that and fly under the goggles with my Flip? Now, clearly this is not an FPV drone, right? I'm not asking for acro to do flips with my Flip, right? Strangely, I can't. But it would have been nice to be able to use the goggles and kind of use it as a Cinewhip so I can do some indoor flying, fly through homes and things like that. You've seen some of those really awesome one-take videos. Not going to happen with this guy. I love that I can fly this Flip without a remote controller. I can just unfold it, put it on the palm of my hand, push a button, and it takes off. I can also fly it with my phone, or I can use one of the two remote controllers, either the RCN or this, the RC2 with the built-in screen, and that's fantastic. But it is really nice that I can just fly this drone without having to get all those things. And flying with the phone is fine. It's not certainly going to be as easy, and you don't have the range that you would with one of those remote controllers. But the thing that I really don't like, I cannot change any settings on the camera. Why can't I adjust the ISO or the shutter speed or the exposure? That just seems like something I should be able to do in the app while I'm flying, so I can fix the exposure and get the shot that I really want to get. That absolutely could be done via firmware. Let's go, DJI. Make it happen. So I paid over $800 when you're counting tax for the Fly More combo. And you know what I didn't get? the ability to charge this thing. You're gonna want to buy one of these. This is a charging brick. I bought this Anker one, it's 100 watts. That's the way to go. You need something that's 65 watts or more, or this Flip is going to take forever to charge. I'm going to continue to gripe on the Fly More combo. This is the bag that you get, and I like this bag. It's decent, it's a shoulder bag. I've never really been a fan of shoulder bags. I prefer a backpack or even a hard case, because the hard case is just gonna do a better job of protecting. But with a drone like this, I want something even more portable than something like this bag. When I got my Osmo, DJI gave me one of these, and when I bought my DJI mic, DJI gave me one of these little bags. Why can't I get a little drawstring bag so that when it's folded up, right, I just throw it in one of those bags, then I throw that in my backpack. I don't need the remote. That'd be great for one of those quick hikes, right, where I don't want to carry a lot of weight. That'd be awesome. Why didn't we include this? Maybe it fits in this Osmo bag, but there really should be something. DJI, why not throw this in the Fly More combo, something suited for this Flip. Right here on the side of the Flip, you can insert an SD card, and that's gonna expand your storage. Well, yeah, this drone does have built-in storage, 2 gigabytes. Why? Like, why does it only have 2? Storage is cheap. It is incredibly cheap. And I'm pretty sure going from 2 to 32 isn't going to add extra weight. And in terms of cost, you know, maybe a couple of bucks, but that would have been fantastic. You know, my Neo has more storage. Why can't we add just a little bit more to this guy internally? Sure, 2 gigs is great to have as a backup, and you probably are going to invest in some high quality SD cards. Really, don't settle for anything less than the best. I always fly with these now. This is the SanDisk Extreme Pro. You probably want 64 gigs or more. It would have been nice to have it internal. Okay, the next thing that I'd like to see, and we'll probably see it on the Pro version, would be waypoints. I love waypoints. Think of, you know, filming the same thing over and over, the same pattern over and over. Maybe a house is getting built, you want to throw it up and fly this continuous pattern and repeat it over and over. That'd be fantastic. It's not something you can do with this drone. That is a software limitation, not a hardware thing. Okay, my last 2 complaints, they're the big ones. I think they're the 2 that you really need to think about. And one of them is this. So up here, this is an obstacle sensor. A lot of people say that it's LiDAR. It is not LiDAR. It is infrared. LiDAR is much better. And sure, infrared will work at night, but this one, it's very limited. It will only work if you're moving at 3 meters per second or slower. We're talking 6-7 miles an hour, so maybe like a jog pace. Any faster than that and the obstacle avoidance isn't going to work. And I think obstacle avoidance is also a misnomer. It's not going to actually avoid anything. Your options are either brake or off, so it will just slow down or stop. It's not going to move around things. Some of the other DJI drones, you have the option of how you want it to move around. You don't even have an option to move around at all with this. It is just stop or off. And actually, I pretty much just turn it off because it kind of just gets in the way. You can kind of see here as I was trying to do this maneuver, it just slowed me down and kind of messed up my shot. Now this design is great for safety with these built-in propeller guards. Now keep in mind, you can still get a finger through there, so you have to be careful when you're hand catching this thing or launching it. But this design has another problem, and that is it gets caught in the wind. This thing, it can handle wind, but it is absolutely going to get pushed around a whole lot more than something like this, the Mini 4 Pro. The Mini 4 Pro without these giant guards doesn't have to worry about the wind nearly as much. So there are times when my footage looks a little bit shakier because this thing is really working to fight the wind. And even times where I found the horizon got tilted a little bit, and sometimes the gimbal will recalibrate itself, or you can bring the drone back in and recalibrate it. But you're not going to want to fly this on super windy days. It is rated pretty high for wind, but it's going to struggle to hit top speed moving into the wind, and it's going to exceed top speed when you're flying with the wind at your back. I ran into that problem a little bit, having a little bit too much fun, and ended up in a bush. So it may sound like I don't like this drone. That is not true. I do really like this drone. I think it is probably the best drone you can get for a beginner in its price range. I think the added safety of these propellers kind of outweighs a lot of those things that I was talking about with this camera, because this camera is really good. I actually put it to the test against the Mini 4 Pro's camera. I also compared it to the Neo, right? This is a $200 drone, so something a little bit less expensive. You can see this also has propeller guards. And also this guy, the Mini 4K, this is a $300 drone. So if you're a beginner, you're probably looking at one of those 4 drones. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so you don't miss that content as I compare the Flip to these drones. I also have a video talking about some of the accessories that I would recommend with this, as well as what really makes this the drone that you should buy if you're thinking about buying it, right? I'll go over the things that I really like about this as well. It's not just all about the bat. And if you are a Part 107 pilot, I have tutorials and videos that help you pass that 107 exam. Make sure you check out that link in the video description for that. Or if you want to buy this or some of those things that I talked about in the video, they're affiliate links. They don't cost you a thing, but they do support this channel. Whether you buy that or you go to Amazon and buy a pair of socks, I'm always thankful because it gives a little commission to me and helps me continue to make videos for you. Thanks for watching. Good luck and happy flying.